Hello, this is Lavistro, the Dragon of Cyberspace, coming to you with all news, tips, and tricks within the gaming spectrum. Now, I just want to point out that it's already been covered, and everyone's given their thoughts, except for me. And the reason I'm covering this is because I want to point out the headline here on something, and I'm going to get to it here in a second. But it just goes to show where people are at and where people think certain things are. And also, how should I put, shows the gap between the customer and the company, or the industry, I should say. In this case, gamers are happy about the news, but game journalists and game developers are not. Fox sells Polygon to Valnet in a blow to video game market. And that's the point I want to point out here. They're saying that the sale of Polygon to Valnet was a blow to the video game market. Now, I have not read Polygon in years. In fact, in 2014, when I was learning game development, my professor told the class that Kotaku and Polygon are excellent sources. Keep in mind, this was way back during the Gamergate stuff, and I tried to use Polygon, and I was contradicting them in my own thesis reports when it comes to video game theory in the market, which wasn't hard to do. So I rarely have used Kotaku or Polygon, and to this day, I still don't read them. I think a lot of gamers are just saying great, because obviously, since it's not performing, Vox has to sell. But then, to be fair, Vox over here has its own issues. Vox Media. Yes. They literally had a journalist that started the Vox apocalypse. That literally was a thing back in 2018, I believe. But let's continue on. Let's see what Danielle Reasonow, editor-in-chief, has to say. I mean, she's already looked from a photo picture here. I'm assuming that's a girl. Yeah. She got the lesbian haircut. You know, it's... Oh, you got a bitchy face. Well, let's continue. Vox Media has sold Polygon, its video game entertainment publication, to Valnet, owner of several entertainment brands, including Collider, The Gamer, and Game Rant. Many staff have reportedly been laid off in the sale. The news broke as workers took to Blue Sky and other social media platforms to announce that they are now out of a job, including editor-in-chief Chris Fuente. They're really trying to make Blue Sky a thing. It's almost... Look, I like Rumble, don't get me wrong. I like the fact that I can say a certain amount of things better than on YouTube, but it still has restrictions. It's not a full free speech platform. It does not recognize the full context of the First Amendment. It only recognizes one tribe view of First Amendment rights, which to me, that's not what I fought for. If you can say it out in public, you can say it online. That's my view. If you can have this stuff sold in stores, if you can view this content online and not go to jail for it, it should be viewed elsewhere. You just need to update your systems to prevent children from watching it. And it's on the parent to ensure kids don't watch that content. And the thing is, it's been censored so much that I understand why they're not touching certain subjects, because, well, sadly, they know that once they open that floodgate, all those repressed censorships are going to come out in droves. But let's continue. Layoffs in the games media have run parallel to massive layoffs in games. This sale means that Polygon, considered one of the most successful media, maybe back, 20 years ago, it was one of the successful media outlets in games, have reduced the ability to report on the game industry and connect players with developers. Yeah, Polygon, like, I hate to break it to you, Danielle, but Polygon gamers are celebrating the layoffs. So they already had a reduced ability to quote unquote report on a game industry and connect players with developers. Because their journalists or journalists are activists, probably like you. They want you to stick to the news on the game industry, not your little spurg moans because you wanted to be a political pundit and no one gave a shit about your takes. Sorry, girl, I call it as I see it. Puente notes in his post, I'm no longer with Polygon. If you're hiring, please consider the many talented writers and editors now on the market. Every one of them deserves a spot in your staff. I won't be talking more about the sale because I wasn't involved. More likely, he was told if he wants to keep his golden parachute or whatever his benefits from leaving. Because here's the thing: when a company is bought or merged, there are duplicate positions that are filled, and they gotta cut the dead weight. So they look for the talent. In fact, it's an older show, older episode, but The Simpsons covered this when Germany bought Mr. Burns' power plant, and they went through the company to see who was a good employee, who was a competent employee, and who was not. And sadly, Homer Simpson was the only one that wasn't competent to the German standards, and even Wayland Smithers. I don't know why he was ever employed, other than he's Burns' manservant. Let's just put it that way. He was trying to stick up hard to the Germans, who were having none of it. So, that being said, when a company buys another company or two companies merged, people will get laid off. And I was always taught, work hard, do your best, leave the rest. And while I looked around me, it was who you know that made you succeed. I never had to worry about that my whole fucking life. Because, number one, truth be told, I didn't have a company buy out the company I was working for. But as a freelancer, game design, being the best freelancer I could possibly be, I had companies hire me and rehire me because I was good at what I did. So much so that some companies actually had me overseeing their own workers. Yes, that happened. But I digress. Staffers from seemingly every department were affected, including reporters, entertainment writers, video producers, and writers and editors from guides, curation, and social media departments. A press release notes that Polygon will join Valnet's gaming portfolio, and a quote by Vox Media CEO Jim Bainkoff appears to confirm that Vox is getting out of the game media business with this sale. Well, that's good. I haven't read a Vox thing since my original channel was shut down by Vox Ad Media. Well, not literally by them, but by their own actions. Just because I was a history buff covering history, and I just so happened to be talking about World War II. So yeah, I have no love for Vox Media. That's my bias. I also have no love for Polygon like any other gamer because they don't report on video games. They use it as a soapbox and go spurg out moments. Kind of like this. Transactional enables us to focus our energy, investment resources, and other priority areas of growth across our portfolio of iconic digital publications and audio-video programming, while enabling Valnet to grow their leadership and authority in the gaming information category. The sale and layoff of so many media workers is perhaps just the latest and most visible incident in the increased consolidation and conglomeration of game media. In the last decade, Fandom acquired GameSpot in 2022, alongside Giant Bomb and other sites. Last year, IGN acquired a gamer network of brands including GI.biz, Eurogamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, and more. Layoffs where they were mentioned or are not in cheerful corporate pressers are common in these deals. We need only look at EA's recent layoffs for similar obfuscations, communications, and cuts. And yes, like I said, if you suck at your job, you're a big old target. You might as well wear red in a bullpen. You're going to get fired. And that's another thing I want to point out is that venture capital is dying out. It's been dying out. That's why a lot of games media things are being bought out, sold out, shut down. Like, this is nothing new. But for Danielle and people like her, this would seem like a crushing blow to the market. In reality, is the world healing? I'm sorry for all the people who lost their jobs that were not activists and were really good writers. Believe me, I'm really sorry for them because they may have been good people. But everything I've read at Polygon was shit. And what you consume, as the phrase goes, you are what you eat. If you eat shit, you will become shit. But nonetheless, people are writing their resumes. And they were warned, like Falfish TV, for example, has warned us for about 5 years now to brush up your resumes. But maybe they should learn code. Personally, I think they should get back to their jobs at Starbucks writing Karen's name on her pumpkin spice latte, where HR found them. But what do you think, viewer? Put your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, happy gaming. And fuck you, Polygon.
Worlds clash in endless collision. Gaming news with a fierce precision. With a spark so wild it breaks the norm. In the tempest eye,